name's Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a small but sweet collection of all the things I made for my me-made wardrobe during autumn. I actually ended up taking quite a big sewing break over the summer. I didn't touch my sewing machine once, and I think it must have been a really good thing for my sewing inspiration because everything I have made for my wardrobe during autumn has been honestly a 10 out of 10. I love every single piece I made. I also loved the whole process of making each and every one of these items. I don't know, I've just fallen in love with sewing in a big way. Not that I ever fell out of love with it, but yeah, having a break has really reignited my love for sewing, and I have had so much fun making these items over the last few months. And if you are interested in making any of these items for your own wardrobe, I'll be sure to leave a link to all the tutorials and videos I've made showing the making process of each and every one of these. So yeah, definitely go and check that out if you're interested. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it and let me show you everything I made for my wardrobe during autumn. The first item I have to share with you has very quickly become probably my favorite dress at the moment. I have worn it so many times since making it, and I can tell it's going to be just one of those dresses I will wear constantly for years to come. It is this beautiful green corduroy dress here. I made this dress using the Juniper Dress pattern by Tiana Herring, and I think I mentioned in the cozy sewing vlog of me making this dress that I had a dress by the brand Noble saved on my Instagram, and then I stumbled upon this pattern and it is almost identical. I could not be happier because yeah, that Noble dress is like over $300 USD, I'm pretty sure. So the fact that I've been able to make a version for myself has just been the best thing ever, and I love this pattern so much. I can already tell I'm going to be making many variations of this pattern over the years. So yeah, this dress is quite different to my usual style. It's kind of like a t-shirt style utility dress. It has a collar, these big t-shirt style sleeves, and also a chunky zip at the front. And then at the back, the dress has a gathered elastic channel which cinches in the dress perfectly at the waist and is honestly so comfortable. I decided to make my Juniper dress out of some dark olive corduroy, and it has turned into the most cozy dress ever. I love wearing this dress with a pair of tights and my chunky Doc Martens. It is just such a like statement outfit, but again, it's just so comfortable and so easy to just throw on. Effortless is how I would describe this dress. It is just perfection. I could not recommend this pattern enough. The next item I have to show you is actually a pattern hack of my Clover sewing pattern, and that is this denim style midi skirt. I had a bit of leftover floral fabric from when I made my bench seat, which I'm not sure if you can see in the background or not. I have a little bench seat in my sewing space, and I found this gorgeous floral fabric at the op shop. It was an absolute bargain for the amount of fabric I got, and the colors are just so perfect for my sewing space. I cannot believe it. But then with the leftover fabric, I decided I wanted to make a kind of like denim style midi skirt. I love the denim midi skirt trend. I think it is just such a classic, and I wanted to add something similar to my own wardrobe, and I thought this fabric would be perfect, and I could not be happier with how it turned out. Again, this one's quite different to my usual style and took quite a bit of experimenting to get the pattern hack project perfect, but I'm so glad I took my time with it and got it right because it has just turned into the most amazing statement skirt. It's also got these beautiful pockets at the front, and so many of you commented how fun you thought the method of making these pockets was. It's basically pocket magic, and the actual waistband of this skirt also has belt loops and everything, which is perfect because I'm quite like slim in the waist but wide in the hips, so wearing it with a belt is ideal. And then I also have the jeans buttons all the way down the front. It's fully buttoned up. There's no zip or anything needed, and I'm really excited to wear this over winter. I think it's going to be such a fun pop of floral and perfect for pairing again with my Doc Marten boots and just like a plain coloured turtleneck. Next, I have a dress that I wasn't quite sure about when I first made it, but I've ended up since loving it so much, which I'm so relieved about, and that is this dress here that I made with a vintage 90s sewing pattern. Like I said, at first I was not sure about this dress. It has quite a like full circle style skirt, which to be honest isn't my favorite look. I don't love circle skirts that much. I feel like they're just a little bit too heavy at the bottom, and at first I was really worried that this dress was going to be the same, and when I first tried it on I just was not feeling myself or feeling very good, so that kind of reflected on how I felt about the dress, I think. But I am so relieved to confirm that since I've made it, I have worn it so much. It was kind of like my go-to autumn outfit, especially with this rust colored Rosery knit. I loved pairing these two things together. My favorite part about this dress is the fact that there's this gorgeous bow at the back, and I'm really happy that when I do pair it with my Rosery knit, the bow peeps out from underneath, which is just such a cute feature. And the fabric is so beautiful as well. It is this like beigey sandy colored broderie on glaze fabric that I purchased from Spotlight a few months ago, and I ended up having to fully line this dress, so it has no exposed seams at all on the inside. It was quite a challenging make and took a lot of time to fully line it, but luckily it was all worth the effort because I'm completely in love with it. And yeah, not only has this just been so great to wear as it started to get colder, I know I'm going to get so much wear out of it during summer as well. So it's ended up being a really versatile make and I'm so proud of it. The next item I have to share is another new favourite pattern find of mine, and that is the Henrietta Skirt by Spaghetti Western Patterns. I am so in love with this skirt. Obviously, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know I'm quite a big fan of a gathered midi skirt, and this one honestly is one of my all-time favorites. First, let's talk about the fabric of this one, because I feel like this fabric is honestly one of my favorite fabric finds of all time. This skirt has actually been made from a tablecloth, and the tablecloth is by a brand called Midi, and they made a collection in collaboration with one of my all-time favorite brands, Ruffled, and they have this tablecloth as part of the collection, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to get my hands on it because it's like the most incredible fabric ever. It's basically like a gingham check fabric with these tiny little embroidered green flowers. The tablecloth was super pricey, so I think I thought about it for a good month or two before I actually ended up purchasing it on whether or not it was worth the money, but I can safely say for me it was worth the money. I'm so in love with it, and it was a massive tablecloth, which means I have lots of leftover fabric to be able to make probably another 2 garments. Honestly, there is so much fabric there. But yes, the Henrietta skirt is this gorgeous gathered midi skirt, and what makes this skirt special is it has these little gathered side panels, which just creates the most stunning silhouette. I think maybe the side panels would be a bit more pronounced with a plain fabric, but I don't know, there's just something so whimsical about this fabric and something so whimsical about the pattern, and together they've just created the most whimsical skirt in the world. I'm so happy with it. I'm a bit sad that it's getting cold here now in Tasmania because yeah, I don't see myself wearing this much over the winter months, but as soon as spring rolls around, you know I'll be wearing this every single day. And the last item I have to share is such a special piece. It is this ruffled gathered blouse. Again, this piece is quite a statement piece. I feel like a lot of the pieces I've made this season have quite big personalities, and this blouse is no exception. While I was in Belgium, like coming up on nearly 6 months ago now, I found the sweetest fabric shop. I'll leave a link to it down below if you want to go check it out. If you're ever in Bruges, I highly recommend it. And from this fabric shop, I purchased the most beautiful floral fabric. I purchased a blouse pattern and some cute little floral buttons to be able to make a blouse as a souvenir from my time in Belgium. And this is the end result. I ended up changing the pattern quite significantly. The original blouse pattern I bought was a little bit deceiving with the image on the front and the actual finished pattern. The actual pattern had quite like bat wing style sleeves, which I think with this fabric just would have been a lot. So I decided to actually use my pansy sewing pattern sleeves and create a more defined sleeve look for this blouse. And I think that was definitely the right choice for this fabric. I'm so much more happier with how these sleeves are compared to the bat wing sleeves. And then I also added a ruffled edge along the buttonhole edge and then also around the collar, which was such a nightmare to try and figure out how to do. I honestly did not expect it to be quite as hard as it was, and I think it was just because my brain had switched off for the day or something. It took me so long to figure it out, and then once I did figure it out, it was pretty straightforward. But it was worth the headache because I think it has turned out into the most beautiful blouse design Something just a little bit different, very special, and a great little keepsake from our time in Belgium. And here is a look at the back. I just love how much gathering this blouse has. It's just such a beautiful design. I think even with the batwing sleeves in a plain colour, it would be so beautiful, which I think I'll definitely do at some stage. And when I was purchasing the fabric, the lady at the fabric shop actually told me that the fabric had been designed by a local designer, which just makes it all the more special. And it's a really cute fabric. It's got flowers and it's all in like an autumnal colour scheme, which is my preferred colour scheme of choice. And then when I looked at the receipt, I saw it was called Flowers and Nuts, which I didn't get at first, but then when you look closely at the fabric, there's actually little almonds in the print as well, which is just such a cute little detail that you wouldn't really necessarily notice. But now that I do know about it, I just love the fabric even more. I'm really happy with this make, and I think it was just such a fun and special project to work on. So yeah, that is everything I made for my Me Made wardrobe during autumn. I would love to know in the comments below which of these makes is your favorite. I honestly can't choose. I do think I will get the most wear out of this Juniper dress just because it is so unbelievably practical but comfortable, and I just feel so great wearing that dress, honestly. So yeah, that is probably the one I'll wear the most. But yeah, I can hand on heart not pick a favorite. I love them all so much. And like I said, I'll list out all the videos I've shared over the last few months making all of these items, so if you did want to make any for yourself, you can go and check those out. And yeah, stay tuned for next week where I'll be sharing my winter sewing plans, which I'm also equally as excited about. I have picked up some really beautiful fabrics recently and I cannot wait to share them with you. If you enjoyed this video, it would really mean a lot to me if you could give it a like, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more sewing type videos just like this one. Have a lovely day and thanks for watching.